Hi everyone, it is Dani'i and welcome to this update video. I really do hope that you're doing amazing today and we're going to be taking a look at what is going on. So we have a pretty strong tropical wave which is entering the Caribbean. It is bringing a lot of heavy rain and thunderstorms to some areas, and also there is that flood threat. So with all that heavy rain moving in, there's likely to be instances of flooding. And there's a pretty decent chance that there's already been flooded in some areas. For example, Trinidad, Tobago. Let me know if you have been experiencing any flooding rains today. But that's going to be the primary focus of this video. And we'll also briefly look at the Pacific Basin, as we have two active tropical storms which are dissipating, and another area to watch as well, which will likely develop into the next tropical cyclone of that hurricane season. So let's get into the details. Okay guys, so here we're looking back at this infrared satellite imagery this afternoon. There's quite a bit of shower and thunderstorm activity right now within the vicinity of the Caribbean. This is kind of typical, especially in the afternoon hours where we are getting these instances of a lot of heavy rain, thunderstorms. And that's going to continually happen. I mean, we're pretty much in the hurricane season, and this is a typical pattern that we'll see throughout summer. So there we can see all of that convection associated with the tropical wave, which has been making its way into the Caribbean. And at a closer look, as I mentioned, some areas have already been experiencing all that heavy rain. Sections of northern South America, including northern Guyana, Suriname, French Guiana, going to Venezuela, Trinidad, Tobago, even headed to Grenada, the Grenadines as well. There's a lot of rain moving into the area. And even though it is looking quite substantial right now, what we tend to see sometimes is that as these systems accelerate in, sometimes we don't see as much activity, so maybe by tomorrow we see a bit of drop-off in all the associated rain and thunderstorms. But overall, it is really helping out to increase the atmospheric instability and also the chance of rainfall. But with that comes that flood threat, so please be safe, guys. Elsewhere across the Caribbean region, let's go on to other areas. Here we can see that it's a pretty active afternoon. Parts of Cuba, northern Jamaica, near the Cayman Islands, Hispaniola, Puerto Rico. There's definitely a bit of action kicking up, even in a few spots in Central America as well. To the ABC Islands, there's not a whole lot going on, a bit of moisture around, which may be helping to influence maybe a brief shower or so, but nothing too crazy. And then as we head to our adjacent ocean basin, the Eastern Pacific, here we can see Cosme and Barbara. So these are two dissipating tropical storms, as I had mentioned, and there's that next area highlighted in red. A disturbance given a high formation chance, 80% chance of development over the course of the next 7 days. So it's likely that there will be yet a new tropical cyclone, probably by this weekend or so. I'll keep you guys posted, but that will likely parallel the southwestern Mexican coast. As it pertains to the Caribbean, this is a look at the rainfall forecast as we head throughout the rest of today and going into tomorrow morning from the Euromodel. More color indicates more rainfall activity. So within parts of the Caribbean, those same general areas I mentioned, the Greater Antilles, even within the vicinity of Florida, going to the Bahamas near the Turks and Caicos, there's likely to be those additional periods of heavy rain and thunderstorms. Passing showers definitely likely across the Virgin Islands, Lesser Antilles further south as that tropical wave moves in. That rainfall activity is going to be continuing throughout much of today. So it is pretty likely there will be more instances of those downpours in Trinidad, Tobago, Grenada, headed to the Guyanas and Venezuela due to that tropical wave. As we head a bit further west to Colombia, Panama, there's likely to be additional heavy rain. Same thing for a few spots in Costa Rica and Nicaragua as well. As we head towards other places in Central America, going to Guatemala, Mexico, A couple areas within Belize, there could be some showers loitering around. May not be anything too crazy though. So that is what is anticipated throughout the time period. And we have two other tropical waves out there. Another one is approaching the Caribbean, and there's a new one which was recently identified offshore Africa as well. And this is going to be the kind of pattern that we'll notice as we head throughout the next couple of months. This isn't anything weird or crazy to see. It is just what is expected. But the primary concern as it pertains to these systems is the floodwaters due to heavy rain. So here are just 3 simple steps in terms of staying safe in the event of any floodwaters. So get into higher ground, that is very important. And it is also important to avoid those areas which are vulnerable to being significantly flooded, especially when there is heavy rain, and to do not drive into the water. If you notice that somewhere is flooded, turn around, don't drown. And also to stay informed. So, this is that time of year where we definitely need to be keeping in the know in terms of what is happening with our weather systems. And that's the reason my channel is here, to keep you guys posted as best as I can. So that is what is going on right now, guys. That's what I wanted to bring to your attention with that tropical wave coming in. And in terms of the development within the vicinity of Central America, as we have been seeing, that's been staying in the Eastern Pacific Basin. So pretty likely we'll continually see that trend for a while. There's no strong signals or hints that, hey, something is going to be forming. Andrea will be forming in the Atlantic Basin, so we're not sure exactly when that is going to be taking place. But as for the very near future, doesn't seem as though we'll be having development over here. Even depicted on the 7-day outlook from NHC, no new tropical cyclones are expected over the course of the next 7 days. So I'll be keeping you guys posted as necessary. And that is pretty much it for this update video. I do hope you found it to be informative. But if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll get to you when I can. And remember to always be weatherwise.